Israel attacks Rafah.
We are still operating in the Gaza Strip and will continue to do so.
Despite a ceasefire offer. An officer answers to the call of duty.
Once I opened the door and, we seen the baby, I'm like, oh man, like it's really going down.
Facing a stressful task with a pregnant mother. And feeling the Clark effect.
She's changed basketball for women.
How this superstar athlete is elevating the league she's in. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Benjamin Kior.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Offer an attack in Gaza after a refused ceasefire proposal. As of this morning, Israel has seized control of the Rafah border crossing that lies between the Gaza Strip and Egypt.
This comes after reportedly stalled talks with Hamas regarding a three-phase deal for a ceasefire and hostage returns. This follows a night of airstrikes by Israel in the southern Gazan town that is holding roughly 1 million civilians whose lives have been uprooted by the conflict. Though Israeli protesters are urging their government to accept the offer to get back the hostages, Benjamin Netanyahu and his war cabinet says that it is not acceptable as it stands.
He wants a ceasefire and a hostage return, but not a permanent ceasefire. Hamas wants a prisoner exchange, hostage return, and a permanent ceasefire.
UN agencies say that the blocking of the two main crossings into the southern Gaza has cut off the enclave of most aid. Negotiations between Israel and Hamas in Cairo, mediated by Egypt, Qatar, and the United States, are set to continue.
This morning, search and rescue teams continue to work on the scene following a powerful tornado. The twister was overnight near Tulsa, Oklahoma. According to the Osage County Sheriff's Office, at least one person is dead and upwards of 30 or 40 homes could be damaged. Down power lines, gas leaks, and debris are making roadways very dangerous. Only first responders have been able to get through the neighborhood.
An ongoing investigation regarding the arrest of a man in Miami International Airport going on this morning. The man taken into custody on Saturday was David Knezevich, who allegedly kidnapped his wife that was reported missing in Madrid in early February. The Spanish National Police and U.S. Customs and Border Protections are also involved in the investigation as Knezevich awaits his initial appearance in federal court.
NASA astronauts will have to wait another day before launching the Boeing Starline spacecraft after a problem with an oxygen relief valve caused the delay. The launch was scrubbed last night. The Starliner project has been nearly a decade in the making and has reportedly cost Boeing $1.4 billion more than it had previously planned to spend. NASA announced that two astronauts, Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, would remain on the ground until at least Friday.
A mother and her baby are recovering this morning after a police officer sprung into action during a critical moment. It was over the weekend in Baton Rouge. Destiny Allen didn't think she was in labor Saturday morning until she instantly knew, but it was too late to make it to the hospital. That's when Corporal Jason Lee, who was patrolling the area, came in to save the day. He says he thought back to his military and police training to help deliver the baby.
All thing was going in my mind was, we got a mother, we got a child involved, and she's about to have this baby. I'm not a nurse, so it means you do the best I can. And it turned out well. Yeah.
Baby Noah arrived safely and is doing just fine, thanks to Corporal Lee. He kept in touch with Allen, and they say that they are both forever bonded.
Florida is one of the 5 states where recalled Planters peanuts were sold. According to the Food and Drug Administration, Hormel Foods has recalled Planters peanuts and mixed nuts due to potential contamination with the bacteria that causes listeria. These products were sold in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, and South Carolina. As of last Friday, there were no illnesses reported.
Books and coffee have always been a classic combination, but what about books and tea? As Kaplin's Amelia Orjuela reports, this is the last standing used bookstore in Kendall, and it goes beyond just selling books.
Although Amazon Kindle has taken over the bookstore industry, there's nothing like the feeling of holding a book. In the West Kendall community, a family-owned business holds the last standing used bookstore in Miami-Dade County, but at this shop, people will find more than just books.
The Kendall Book Exchange has 30,000 booths, and it takes between 1,000 to 2,000 new books every week to offer its customers an affordable reading experience. Eunice Rodriguez is the owner and a book lover.
Trade with me. If you bring me books that you do not want that I can sell to other people, the books that are marked half price go down another 25%. So an $8 book has already been marked down to $4. If you trade with me, you pay $2.
The bookstore shares the space with Tea and Sanity, a medicinal herb shop operating locally since 2007. Rodriguez is also a self-taught herbalist.
We are almost entirely medicinal. We create products for illnesses for the most part. And I have a really good track record of coming up with answers because I'm willing to take a week to work on your problem. And then what happens is you work and you study until you find something that works for somebody. And
besides doing remedies, they also make skincare, teas, and wellness merchandise. Leila Rodriguez is Eunice's daughter and a customer herself.
We're not instead of medication, we're the alternative. And why not start with the medicinal route first?
With over 15 years of experience, this hidden gem provides a cozy atmosphere for customers to spend an afternoon reading their favorite books while taking a homemade natural tea that will suit their bodies. For Caplin News, I'm Amelia Orjuela.
No surprise this morning that Miami is near the top of a list of America's worst driving cities, but it's not number one. According to a recent study from Forbes Advisor, the worst U.S. city to drive is Oakland, California, due to the high number of fatal crashes, high gas prices, and long average commute times. Miami was ranked second in the worst cities. In case you're curious, the best driving city on the list is Raleigh, North Carolina, because of safety, driving experience, and the cost of vehicle ownership.
In the most anticipated fashion event of the year, the Met Gala, is where celebrities are free to wear the most eye-catching outfits, and this year did not disappoint. Rapper Cardi B, for example, wore a black dress where the skirt was so big, 6 men needed to follow her around to lift the dress for her to walk. She wore it to fit the Garden of Time theme. The gala raises money for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, where the event is held.
While FIU was off for its semester break, some high-powered boats took the water down in the Keys to quench their need for speed. Kaplin's Dylan Pizzet reports from Marathon.
Most people come to the Florida Keys for a relaxing vacation to soak up the sun or lie on the beach, but this weekend, the soothing sound of waves meeting the shore is replaced by the huge roar of powerboat racing engines. Powerboat racing has been a staple of the Florida Keys for decades, but racing on and off in Marathon makes this the second annual Marathon Powerboat Grand Prix. Offshore powerboat racing may look the same as other forms of racing, but there are some true differences to racing on the water.
They're so powerful and the ocean is unpredictable that no one man could handle the throttles and the wheel of one of these boats. Moving at over 100 miles an hour. You need both hands on the wheel, and the throttle man's job is a full-time job. Handling the trim of the boat, getting off the engines when the propellers come out of the water because you'll blow your engines.
Having more than one person in the cockpit sounds a bit crazy, so I spoke to a father-son Supercat team for some clarification.
I'm the throttle man, my son's the driver. It's good. Most of the times we argue a little bit, but not too much. You have no choice in a boat like this. No one person could do all this at the same time. It'd be impossible. There's too much. There's boats around you. There's too much going on. The waves, the conditions change from corner to corner. You just never be able to do it with one.
He's kind of in control of keeping this boat level and watching the waves and the water, and I'm in control of watching the boats around me and also the waves and talking with them. And there is a little bit of arguing and stuff, but it is extremely fast. I mean, we're entering these corners at 120 mile an hour and getting her slowed down, and it's hooking 100 plus mile an hour through the corner. So there's no. It is tough to do it by yourself. It'd be almost impossible, like you said.
That's all the time we have for RWO's second annual Marathon Grand Prix. If you found this interesting, then check Race World Offshore's website to see where they race next. For Caplin News, I am Dylan Pizzet.
The Panthers try to shake off the rust after a 6-day break between playoff games.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
It's definitely part of a larger trend of women's sports at the college and professional level.
Caitlin Clark's WNBA team may not have won their first preseason game, but her appearance is already showing what she could mean for the league's business model. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
After only one game in the WNBA, college standout Caitlin Clark is proving she can make an impact on the league's bottom line. Everybody watches women's sports is not just a slogan now, with Caitlin Clark spearheading the 2024 WNBA draft class that many believe will change the game.
Clark made her debut for the Indiana Fever against the Dallas Wings last Friday, scoring 21 points, 16 of which came in the first half. Other prospects like Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and Cameron Brink have also gotten their first taste of professional basketball. And one doesn't have to look much further than the skyrocketing ticket sales to understand their impact.
It's definitely part of a larger trend of women's sports at the college and professional level finally getting the visibility that they.
WNBA sales have spiked 93% on StubHub compared to last year. Fans of the league hope that this added revenue will eventually be parlayed into improvements for players like increased salaries, league expansion, and improved travel conditions.
Boston's revenge tour in South Florida continues this morning as the Bruins took down the Panthers in Game 1 of their second-round series. The contest was shaping up to be a grueling defensive matchup in the first quarter, with both teams allowing 0 shots in their first penalty kills. Matthew Tkachuk would break the ice with a goal in the second, but it was downhill for the Cats from there. The Bruins would score 5 unanswered to steal Game 1 on the road. The final score was Bruins 5, Panthers 1. The Cats will look to protect home ice in Game 2 tomorrow night.
The Miami Marlins brought the heat to LA as they took on the Dodgers. Both teams started off very hot with a combined 8 runs in the first 2 innings. Shohei Ohtani kept his streak alive, hitting a home run in his 3rd straight game. Dodgers pitcher Walker Buehler also made his return to the mound after a nearly 2-year absence because of Tommy John surgery. In the end, the Dodgers won 6-3. You're watching Newsbreak, and we'll be right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Benjamin Cure.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.